did not expect to be making this video in late August. I was planning on making it in July, didn't really get around to it, and then he eventually got traded to the Angels, which is wild that we're sitting here talking about this. The Angels did Angel things, and they waived a bunch of players, I believe 6 of them, including Randal Grichuk and Hunter Renfroe. They can still play for the Angels, by the way, while on waivers, which is interesting. Both guys who some fans speculated might be good fits for the Phillies. I don't really think Grichuk is gonna end up getting claimed by the Phillies or fall to the Phillies in the waiver order. Just for those of you who don't know, it goes in inverse order of the standings. There's going to be some lower wildcard teams that need hitting a little bit more than the Phillies. Out of Renfroe and Bader, I mean, Grichuk was swinging the hottest bat going into the deadline. He just turned 32 on August 13th. He's a rental. Obviously, he's going to hit the market this offseason, as is the case with most of these waiver wire guys who are available in the next couple days. If you'll remember, I really wanted the Phillies to add a right-handed bat. I still think they could use someone over Jake Cave. Look, I know Cave is a lefty. We don't really have any other lefty bench bats outside of Garrett Stubbs. If I had needed a lefty up the bat, probably wouldn't be my first choice. But I think the Phillies, since they platoon so much for whatever the reason, they're probably still going to have another guy on the bench when we have a lefty on the mound and then a righty comes in later. They'll have a left-handed bat to pinch hit, I guess. But regardless, I still think that they have an opportunity to upgrade over Jake Cave. And they could definitely make room on the 40-man, too. There's options there. Cave has played better lately. I just don't trust him in a bigger sample size to continue that production necessarily. And I will say, while that is the case, Grichuk has cooled off significantly since landing in LA. I'm not sure if that's just the fact that he's not hitting at Coors Field anymore, if that's his age, if that's the Angels effect for whatever the reason that is, or all of that. At Coors Field, he did hit 336 with a 946 OPS for what it's worth. And in away games with the Rockies, he hit 282 with the 782 OPS. Obviously, there's a pretty decent difference there. Look, we all did see what he did to the Phillies yesterday, though. I'm not going to act like I didn't watch that. A few extra base hits there, even a home run. You know, maybe being waived kind of gives him a little extra juice for September. That's a possibility. He was heating up leading up to the deadline, hitting 350 with 6 home runs in July while he was still with the Rockies. He still hit 3 home runs in an Angels uniform, which, like, again, that's kind of what you're going to expect from him on a monthly basis, I would say. You're probably going to get around 20 home runs a year from him. And I would take that from him in September, too. But the fact that he's hitting just 149 in an Angels uniform with a 25 OPS plus, yeah, that's the alarming part. And the 3 home runs, those are 3 of only 7 extra base hits in an Angels uniform. That's what I'm concerned about. The big reason you're adding him is to kind of hit well against left-handed pitching, which he hit at a 364 clip with the Rockies earlier this year and a 1066 OPS. He also has a 114 OPS plus as a career hitter versus lefties. With the Angels, he's only hit 125 versus them. That's a concern to me. Like, I don't know what's going on right now, but again, maybe it's something on the Angels end that seems more likely. I still think Grichuk has a decent enough track record for me to consider adding him and putting a claim in. Also, for what it's worth, 15 career games at Citizens Bank Park, 8 extra base hits, 5 of which are home runs. So he has, like, I think an 840 OPS at Citizens Bank, so not too bad at all. Obviously, small sample size, but I always like to look at that for fun. There are concerns, especially at 32 years old, and I don't think he's great with runners in scoring position. That would be my concern there. But I do think he could be a table setter type of guy as, like, the 9 hitter to turn it back over to the top of the order. That's something I think he could do well. I think he'd be an upgrade over Cave in that regard. And I think offensively overall, he'd probably be an upgrade over Cave still. But defensively, he seems to have leveled out a little bit in Los Angeles in a good way. I mean, that he actually has added a few outfield assists. I think he has 3 with them in just this month. I don't know if it was Coors Field or coming back from the sports hernia surgery. I don't know if it was his age or a combination of all of those things. But he was not good defensively with the Rockies. And in the past, he's been a pretty strong defensive player. Obviously, he had that issue on Tuesday night versus the Phillies as well. We don't need anything crazy from him down the stretch of the season. Just needs to be level. Overall, I think I would put a claim in on him. I think another team's going to snag him before the Phillies can. I'm not sure he's going to fall to them in the waiver order. But I do think one of Renfroe or Bader possibly could. So I'll do a couple videos on them too before we find out where they're going to go. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. And go Phils. We'll see y'all later. And yeah, ring the bell. God bless y'all. Peace.